showing up. I know it was a press because I work too every day, and I know even if you don't work, you have family, you have grandchildren, children, you have things to do. So thank you for taking your time out to be here tonight. I guess because no one else showed up, I get to get all the attention and all the time. So it worked out for me, right? But I just want to say this journey has been a long journey. And for those of you all who don't know me, who don't know a lot about me, I was speaking to some constituents, some people, maybe you could call them opposition, that I know that's not voting for me, but are voting for Mr. Thompson, who I'm running against. They just didn't know my background and know my history. So let me start by saying, I was born and raised in Anderson. I went to all the local schools. I went straight to the military after high school. I went to military, stayed, got married, had kids, came back home, and went back into the military. So I have a total of 15 years of military service in the Army, and I went to Iraq in 2010. Cool. So I'm a combat Army veteran. And also, I just recently got my 3rd degree. I have a master's degree in communications. And so communication is very, very personal to me because it's how we're able to relay how we feel, what we expect. It's how we relay what we want to happen in the future, or even what's going on right now. If you can't communicate or you have your communications crossed, then nothing goes anywhere and you stay in the same place. So communication, how we communicate, even in our facial features, in our body language, when we smile, when we frown, when we use our hands, when we stand still, it's saying a lot. And so that degree, it just solidified or validated how I love the fact that we're able to communicate different things to different people, and you can say the same thing over again and people hear it different ways and they get a different message out of it. And to me, that's amazing. So I also learned in the military how important it is for communications, because one of the first things you do in combat is you take out communications, because they know if you can't talk, you can't fight. If you can't talk, you get divided. When you become divided, then you divide and you conquer. And so I've learned so much about those things, and they prepared me to be where I am now. You need communication. You need to know how people are divided, why they're divided, how we should come together, what caused the division. Most of the time, communication. So that is just a small reason of why I'm doing the things I'm doing, and the things I've learned, my history has brought me to today. So today, I'm here and I'm running for City Council, seat 5. It's the seat that's currently held by Dr. Beatrice Thompson. She's been there since 1976, I want to say. And her son is wanting to be her predecessor and run in her office. And I have a long-time relationship with Dr. Thompson. Everyone should know her because she's a respected member of the City Council and has done great exploits. Anybody would be honored to walk in her shoes because she's done so much and she's accomplished a lot of things, not only for the city of Anderson, but Anderson County and the Black community as a whole, Westside Community Center. She's done so much. So I don't want to take away from her legacy and what she's done. I actually want to add to it. And I want to make sure that people understand this one thing. And I'll tell this story and I'm going to keep telling it over and over again because I don't want there to be like a us versus them. When Dr. Thompson, I had been telling her, Dr. Thompson, I'm thinking about running for your seat. And she said, yes, a lot of people are thinking. And she said, I'm hearing a lot of names. And I said, yes, ma'am. I said, would you tell me? She said, no, I can't tell you that. I said, yes, ma'am, I understand. And I said, well, she asked me to make sure my affairs are in order. So she asked me about my family, and asked me about my job, and asked me about my children, make sure things are in order. I said, yes, ma'am. And she said, good, that sounds good. So some months go by, and I hear that her son is gonna run for her seat. And so I come to the Westside Community Center. I think I was doing some Democratic Party stuff. And I saw her in the office, and like I always do, I don't pass by a chance to speak or to engage with her or tell her how you doing, I love you, how you know, good to see you today. So I went and she said, come on in, sit down. And that's when we talked, and then she said, now you know my husband, you know my son is running for my seat. And I said, yes ma'am, I heard. And she said yes. And she said, how do you feel about that? And I said, I don't think it changes anything one way or the other, because I'm not running to do anything different than I feel like he would do. He's doing it to honor you and your legacy, and I feel like I'm doing the same thing. And so she said, okay. And I said, she explained to me that, you know, my son is gonna have my support. I can't endorse you. I said, yes ma'am, I understand. I would have it no other way. And I asked her, I said, Dr. Thompson, the only thing I asked you was, do I have your blessing? And she said, yes, you most definitely have my blessing. And so that being said, I feel like I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like this is not just me doing something on a whim. My experience has led me up to this point. And by her saying, you have my blessing, it just confirms and solidifies I'm right where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I believe that whatever the community needs, I've been here, I'm gonna be here, I'm not going anywhere. I have my family settled here. And you've all seen the things that I've done, especially with my family property. You know that I'm a fighter. You know that I'm not gonna hold my tongue. You know that I'm gonna speak up for the least of them. And I want everything to be fair. I want things to be proper and in order. And I feel like when we work together, it's enough for resources, it's enough money, there's enough everything for everybody to be a part. And I only feel like we're successful when everybody works together, when everybody's able to take and be a part of the plan. So I want to be that person that hears the voice of the people, and when things are falling down or things haven't been getting taken care of, I want to hear from everyone in the community so that everyone feels a part. When everyone feels valued, it brings value to the community. Everything looks better. Everyone picks up behind themselves. Everyone takes pride, and they want to build up, and they want to come out, and they want to hear, and they want to get involved. They want their children to be involved. And so I am on a mission to not only run for city council, I'm on a mission to help rebuild and restore and to revitalize and to make Anderson everything that we have hoped it to be, and Dr. Thompson what she has hoped it to be. She's done a good job. I'm not gonna say anything negative about her, but I will say it's my time now. So I hope that if you live in my district, even if you don't live in my district, tell someone about me, Tanya Wimbush. Vote for Tanya. Go on April 7th. Make sure they know that there's an election. We have a horrible reputation of not voting in municipal elections. So hopefully, because you're excited, I'm excited, other people are excited, they'll go out and vote for Tanya Wimbush on April 7th. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. Okay, questions? Any?
My question. I'm trying to record you.
Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
How can we support you?
So right now, the biggest thing you can do to support is I will send you my link to donate. I need people to help me put out signs, knock on doors, and make phone calls. That's how you win elections. People want to know that you care, and they don't want you just to come around, you know, when it's time for election. So I don't want this to be something that is a one-time thing. I want us to be able to somehow gather the data of the people that supported me, and then have them to be able to be a part of a group, a community group, an outreach group, so that they can feel supported. So we can go and ask them, you know, yeah, you voted for Tanya, you said you supported her, now what do you want to see done, right? And I can't do it by myself. And so me garnering support, even if you're not in my district, I need people to help boots on the ground, meaning knock on doors and tell them, vote for Tanya, call on the phone. Who are you voting for? What would you like to see done? Can we put a sign in your yard? Do you know the election's on April the 7th? Do you need a ride? Is transportation a problem? I just need people to help ask those questions, and we have, like I said, it's a lot of people that I'm having to reach because we really don't have a lot of data for campaigning, because Dr. Thompson never had to run a campaign. After she won, she never had to run again. So we don't really have a lot of data on people that voted, because people voted, a few people that supported her, but she never really needed anybody to vote because she got the seat because she ran unopposed. So now, which is good for me because it allows me to not just look for names and numbers. I have to go and try to touch everybody as much as I can, as many people as I can. So it's really not a bad thing for me, but it is a short time span from now to April the 7th. So the more that I can get to call people, to help campaign, to knock on doors, that would be great for me.
Well, you can put me on your list to call.
Yes, ma'am. I sure will get a list to you tonight.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What things do you hope to accomplish, by being in that seat? What changes are you hoping to make for this area?
One thing I'm hoping to make is transparency. Just sitting back, being a citizen of the county and the city. I noticed that there's a lot of things that go on, but you don't know about it until after it's happening and it's too late. You really don't get a say. You don't get to say, I agree, I don't agree. They'll maybe have they'll call a special call meeting. But at that point, it's really too late. They've really already made up their mind.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping one thing, just one thing. There's a lot of things that I know needs to happen, but one thing is transparency for me.
I like that.
Yes, yes.
Transparency.
So I can't get the transparency until I get my foot in the door. I don't know what happens. I have no clue. It's tight-lipped. And so one of the things that I'm hoping to bring transparency is I'm hoping that when I get in there, I'm able to allow other people to see what I see, right? I know there's laws and legal stuff that I can't just let everything come out if if I'm legally bound by law not to express some stuff. But I feel like if there's something that, if as a citizen, now in the city council, that I would have liked to know as a citizen, I'm gonna do my best to try to share those things, right? I don't know why they're not sharing those things, yeah. And so whatever I can share, I would love to know budgets. I don't know budgets. I would love to know, how they fund certain things, right? Right now, which is, y'all have my information card. One of the things that we don't have is anything for the youth to do. Young people don't have anywhere to go. They don't have the Boys and Girls Club anymore. They don't have, they used to have a Salvation Army thing that they don't have anymore. They don't have the swim pools are gone. Most of the outdoor basketball things, they don't play at. I'm wondering, where is the funding for things like that?
Right.
I don't know. But when I get in city council, I can find out. And then maybe that's something that I can share or maybe influence. I don't want to make false promises that I'm just gonna, just air out all the dirty laundry, because I don't think that would be good for me or the community. But I do think that there are certain things that can be shared when it comes to transparency, and one of those things is budgets and funding.
What?
Yes, sir.
I was following up on transparency. I can't find it. I thought I saved an article. Reported today that Anderson County Planning Commission approved a business to come in. They called it Project Bindi or whatever it is. They didn't even disclose the name of the company. Supposedly, it was going to employ 200 people. They go ahead and took what some would call an ad valorem tax or an impact fee in lieu of taxes.
Yeah, they did.
What is your feeling about trying to get businesses in here and the county council doing that? I know they have to be competitive with other counties, but the in lieu of taxes seems to be an issue.
Right.
Because we have a tax burden here.
We do.
Our taxes keep going up, and you look around the town, and the only thing they're spending money on is the two parks.
Right. So
Yeah.
one
I
thing
mean, there's
can,
just black
Yeah.
tar on every road.
it is. One thing I can say is I won't be representing the county, but you know, I still have family that live in the county, so I have family property, so the county is very important to me. And I was at that meeting. I was at that meeting because that's helping vets got honored at that meeting, and so I was there trying to meet and greet and see them because I'm a veteran and I'm running for city council. However, the only problem that I have, and it's not only problem, it is a problem, is they don't tell you the employees that they're hiring, what's the qualifications, and are they bringing and moving
may
those
bring their
employees?
own in.
There you go.
It may not even be from this
Exactly.
county.
They didn't disclose that. And the other thing is, they said that they didn't disclose it because they haven't told their shareholders or the employees may not know yet. And my thing is, you shouldn't be doing deals, right?
Right.
If your stakeholders don't know and your employees haven't been told yet. I think it's very important that we know the name of something before it comes. And I didn't agree with the code name thing. And I really, I hate to even say it, but the thing that they even do, they go in this thing called executive session.
Right.
And they say it's only things that's privy to them and the lawyer. And they say that it's bound by attorney-client privilege. My thing is, well, why are you having an executive session in front of us if we can't even know it anyway? Because now you making me feel some kind of way. Y'all need to have this meeting somewhere else and just put it in a note that y'all had executive session this day, this time. Why would y'all make us sit here and wait while y'all go and just, right? Okay, let me get off my soapbox.
No, that's fine.
That is a problem,
I
but
understand exactly what you're saying.
I feel like it has a lot to do with transparency. But the bigger issue is there is no term limits. People get on the councils, they stay on the councils. People get on the councils and you start to look and see how their personal businesses are profiting or benefiting from them being on the council, right?
Right.
And then when you have people who are running, you don't have competent people who are running. You have everyday citizens who are strong, who have, good work history, they're loyal, they're everything. They're honest, hardworking people, but they're not politicians. And they can't beat the people that are there. And so they don't know how to campaign and get out, and they don't have the structure. So one of the things that the Democratic Party is doing is they're trying to not just find people, but train people.
Yeah.
One of the things I went through, the Congressman Clyburn has a fellowship training that I went to back in 2019. And I was a part of that cohort, and they train you everything, fundraising, campaigning, how to introduce yourself in under 60 seconds and let people know what's going on, and being able to brand yourself. They train you all of that so that all that hard work, it will benefit you when you run against an incumbent. Because I can tell you, there are some people that are sitting on the county council that have been there for a very long time. I'm not gonna say any names, but I'll tell you this: they don't read very well. Their enunciation is not very great. And when they represent me, I feel a certain kind of way because I don't like that type of personality come and saying, I'm Anderson County and I represent Anderson County. And it just looks bad to me. And that's just small stuff. There's other things, too, but nobody can win. Nobody can beat the people who've tried. I don't think it worked, and they don't get support. And it's a lot. But we can't get transparency if we don't have a change of regimen, leadership change.
Falls under the purview of there's the county council and the city council. What does the city council, what are they in charge of?
So the city does the same thing, but just on the city levels, right? You pay taxes, they have business things that come, matter of fact, I think they just, did some stuff with United Way where they got some money for a transitional housing or something that I saw,
Okay.
right?
Through the
So-
lot project.
Right, through the lot project, so they do a lot of stuff, they were the ones, the Lindley Park, that's the city, they got funding to get that park, and it's beautiful, right?
But they sure screwed up Cater's Lake in my mind. Used to be fun, now it's going to be difficult.
Right, but were you,
Yeah.
was the community involved, you know, like I said, we don't have any transparency, so they do the same thing. The city has a budget for the city, they have funding, they have grants, they have an administrator, like the county administrator, they have a city administrator, they have a county lawyer, they have a city lawyer, you know, it's pretty much the same. The mayor is I ain't gonna say a figurehead, but he's kind of the figurehead, but he has to rally everybody together to get a consensus, right? He can't just like say it's my way, everybody has to have a consensus, and he just kind of leads and guides the idea or the things that's supposed to go on in the city. But the city and the county are pretty much similar, they just are smaller, and their budget is probably not as big in the city. But, the city is all the downtown, I think, and then it doesn't include any schools though, all the schools are in the county. So when I say youth, you know, doing things for the youth, I think it would be good for allow the city to handle the things after school that includes outside of school, because the county is handling the school and the school district. So it would be good for the city to get involved and kind of have some extracurricular things for the children to do that involves the city. And what it does, it forces the city and the county to work together. I heard they had like not a good relationship, I'm not sure. They have a good relationship when it's time for them to have one, I'll say that. But sometimes they have a little contention with the city and the county. But for the most part, when it's something big and it's something that's gonna help everybody, I think they come together. But that's one of the things that I would like to see happen is the youth thing for the city to kind of get involved and take that on and fund that. But yeah, so did they answer your question? Okay, yes. Yes, sir.
When you talk about transparency, what is the vehicle that you may use in terms of, I'll call it rallying your constituents? Because I've been back in Anderson, 7 years now? I'm not too sure about how the communication strategy will work as you talk about horizontally deploying information to the masses.
Right.
So do you have any ideas about how that happens?
So I've been contemplating it, and it's been an issue for a while. I know Dr. DeShields is the new executive director here at the Westside Community Center. So one of the things off the top of my head that I've been contemplating, which I would have to get more data to be able to put this in place, but I would love for the Westside Community Center to be a communication hub, meaning everybody can hit this website, just like WCC, and they can get all the information, all the businesses in the community, all the events that's going on, when the city is doing anything in reference to Halloween, Christmas, Easter, for the kids, anything that's going on. I'm hoping that I can get with Dr. DeShields once I win this city council seat, and we can be able to deploy and put some funding in a communication hub that would be social media. But also I would love for the people who maybe don't have social media would be able to deploy something from this area that would be like a newsletter, the Westside Community Center newsletter, where it would go out to people in their mailboxes and they would know and look for it, because they know that information that they're needing, they won't just throw it in the trash, because that's the problem. We get so much junk mail, but if we can brand the Westside Community Center, WCC, then the people won't do this and throw it in the trash. And it would include things like I'm saying, this is what's going on in the city council. This is what happened in the meetings. They have their meetings on YouTube. I watch them every now and then, but I don't watch them much. they have their council meetings on the first and third Monday. The county council has theirs on the second and fourth Tuesday. But when you go, there's nobody there. I mean, I go, but no one goes. But I wanna be able to let people know the importance of why you should go. And nobody's telling us how important it is and the things that's going on in the community right up under your nose that you don't even know. And so I wanna be able to bring light and to bring voice and say, hey, did you know this was going on? Did you know that was going on? But I can't do it by myself. I can't go to all the meetings. I can't, sit and get all the information. So that's why it's important, like you said, to be able to deploy people who are interested so they can also be a voice for me as well and give me ideas, because I don't know it all. But that's just one idea. Yes, ma'am.
Who is it that's hired by the city council or whatever that's in charge of communication?
I have no idea, but I will know.
I mean, it seems like that would be the way to go. That way it's not.
I don't think that the city council has a hub or has a designated person for communication. I think that, you've got a group of people who've gotten together, one vote, and then you have subtle influences,
Yeah.
and it goes like that.
Yeah, they may have a budget, I don't know, but yeah, if they do, we'll find out, and I'll be looking out for it.
Well, that would be an important
Yeah.
budget item, I think, because, I mean, we can't do anything if we don't know.
Right, and that's one of the issues that we've had in the community, that I always had an issue with, was we don't know anything until after it's done. If this had gone on at Anderson University, and I was so disappointed, I think they had Andrew Young, the ambassador there, and I was like, what? I was so disappointed, cause I would have loved, right,
Yeah, that
to
would
been
be
in the
good.
presence, right? How often do you get someone of his stature in Anderson, South Carolina? So, but it was too late. It had happened, and I could, so things like that, they happen, and we don't know. So hopefully, that'll be one of the things that we can address once I get elected.
You
to
have
city
our
council.
support. We live outside the city limits, so we won't be
Yes.
voting.
Yes, sir.
But we're not gonna move just to vote for it.
And you're not gonna annex us either.
We're not annexing.
Boy, you're not good supporters.
Miss-
Can do this.
Miss
Beth
Julie.
Batson is the city communication director.
Oh, is it?
Beth Batson.
Ooh.
Ms. Whitmer, throw in there, because I've heard you talk about hosting town halls for the district if you win.
Yes,
And how would
definitely.
that work if you host town halls? Because I've heard
Definitely.
you talk about that.
Yes, I have, and that's one of the things that goes back to your communication. We don't have any town halls right now, and so one of the things, right off the bat, within the first 30 days of me being elected, we will have our town hall meeting. We have to, because I don't know what the issues are on the ground. I can't see everything. I don't know what people are passionate about. I don't know, I can make guesses, but what I see and what's actually going on in people's lives every day, I would be remiss and I would be less than a leader if I didn't allow people to come in a town hall and tell me what they need, what's wrong, and how I can help fix the issues that's going on in the community. So yes, sir, thank you for reminding me. That's one of the answers also, is having town halls.
Tanya, I just wanted
Yes, sir.
to mention that Beth Batson
Yes.
retired 1st of January,
Oh.
Oh.
and her communication was to news outlets and things of that nature, not to the community.
Oh.
Oh.
That's why I thought that there was no localization of communication.
But we'll have to work on that. That may be
News
one of the
outlets
things.
of which we have very few
Exactly.
anymore.
Yeah, we have none.
Yeah,
you know.
pretty much.
We've got a Facebook page for the, for the county, and that's about the information we got.
Well, I don't want to stop the questioning, but do y'all have one more, or,
No?
okay?
Go ahead.
Tanya,
Yes.
I mean, just the reality is, it's the Old Boy Network, it's Anderson City Hall. We all know it, nobody wants to say it, I'll say it. How much luck do you think you're gonna have there?
Well, it's It's not.
Did you say luck?
Yeah, it's not so, yeah, it's not so much luck, and then I'll preface it with this, because I do have some pastors in the building. It's not about luck, it's the blessed, I'm blessed, and God has called me to do this, and so one thing I can tell you is, with my communication, God has gifted me with a way to communicate with people to build bridges. So even though it's an old boys program, I don't, and I can't take credit for it. I have a way to speak with people to make sure that the networks that they may have try to build walls or try to keep me out of, once I'm in that position, I believe that I'll be in a God-ordained position and that God will give me the grace I need to be able to tear down those walls, not literally, but figuratively, with my words, with my support, with my experience, and also with the voice of the people. If people are supporting me and they're asking me and they're pushing me, people influence and they ignite fires. So if my district is ignited and they're moving and they're supporting me and they're coming to meetings and they're saying, we need this, what's gonna happen is that fire is gonna go to the next district. And now that city council person's gotta do it. And you've seen it, the fire when, not to talk about, cause this is a nonpartisan seat, but not to talk about the Republican Party, but you've seen a lot of their senators not even being able to go and do town halls.
Yeah, they won't.
Because those people were ignited and they were fired up. And it was like, we want answers. And it actually, it touches and it gets on one person and one group. And so that wall or that old boy thing that may be there, one thing I can say is Dr. Thompson is the only female. And if I don't win, there'll be no females. So I guess at that point, it really would be the old boys game. So I'm hoping that not only can I go in and break up some of the monotony, but I feel like we have to do something different because I don't feel like we're going anywhere with this old boys program.
Oh, I
Doing the same
couldn't agree
thing.
with you more.
Right. It's not. We're doing the same thing over and over again, and so we do.
Keep the status quo, that's Anderson City.
Are there women's groups you can reach out to?
There is the League of Women Voters. There are a lot of sororities in Anderson, so I can reach out to them. And the only thing is, they may be supporting Dr. Thompson, I don't know, but I will be reaching out to them. And, like I said, the thing that makes this race a little different is because Dr. Thompson's son is running. And that's why I preference the story, because I don't want anybody to feel like that it's me against Dr. Thompson, because it's not. Or it's me against her legacy, because it's not. I love and respect her as just like her son does, I'll say that. But I'm different. I am a woman, I have different views, and this is not gonna be what you call an extension of Dr. Thompson. This is gonna be me standing on her shoulders and going to the next level. I don't want to be what, So I wanna be able to take what she's done and build on it. I don't want to be an extension. Because that again goes to what you said, the old boy program.
Same
Things
old,
status
same
quo
old.
and things stay the same. So I don't wanna do that, but I do wanna make sure
Good point.
that people don't feel like, oh, I gotta be loyal to Dr. Thompson.
Well, that's what I'm saying, women's group, I think you
Right.
appeal to women, because you can say, those old guys, they don't care about your kids
Yeah.
at the playground.
I
I'm a
agree.
mother,
I agree.
I know my kids.
And
Okay,
it
we're gonna let
is-
George do the last
And it
question.
is Women's Appreciation Month, right, Mark?
Last question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. My question actually is to the Democratic chair,
Oh, okay.
Okay, okay.
because